This video will shift your self-concept instantly. Of course, only if you allow it to. But what I'm willing to look at and investigate is why you should stop manifesting, because the paradigm of manifestation is a little bit broken. Now, I won't only show you that, but we'll look into how your beliefs and how your self-concept, whatever it is right now, is actually your partner in crime, and it deserves your respect. And by the end of the video, if you stay with me, I'll guide you through this process, through this step-by-step process of transforming your self-concept through the paradigm of identity shifting, instead of having to rely on the broken paradigm of manifestation. So if this sounds interesting to you, stay with me and I'm sure it will be quite the ride. Hey there, my friend. I am Danny from the Higher Consciousness with Danny, and I am here to help you expand your awareness, step into higher consciousness, and fulfill your inner potential. This is my purpose with each of the videos I create. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe and I would love to see you around. Now, what do I mean by saying that the manifestation and the law of assumption paradigm, law of attraction paradigm is broken? If you have found yourself to force yourself out of feeling bad, and you wanted to do some form of practice to manifest and be positive, but while doing that, you are suppressing and repressing how you felt at this moment in time. This is actually a process of invalidating yourself wherever you are at your journey. This is detrimental to your self-concept. And this is how a lot of people in the manifestation community have been told to do, have been told to practice. If I'm feeling a little negative, disappointed, if I'm feeling sad, if I'm feeling a little apathetic today, if I'm feeling just, whoa, I'm in a valley experience. I'm not on the top of the hill, I'm in a valley experience. And I should do something about it. I should force myself. I should do some scripting, maybe some affirmations. Maybe I should visualize. Even though I feel like I don't want to, I would do that because I have to. This is what the broken paradigm of manifestation asks us to do. And this is totally detrimental for your self-concept. In fact, if you are only able to focus on transforming your self-concept, everything else will simply follow. And this is why I want to look into how your limiting beliefs are actually your partners in crime. How all these, in a way, destructive stories that are repetitive, that are almost running on autopilot, are your friends, your partners in crime. They're helping you, they are serving you. And if you don't understand that, you keep repeating the same cycles over and over and over again, and you end up being disappointed. And here, my friend, I'm speaking from personal experience. I am into this journey of manifestation, studying the law of attraction, law of assumption, metaphysics, and everything having to do with spirituality for the last 5, 6, even more years. And I've tried a lot of the concepts in that community, from reality transurfing to Rhonda Byrne's law of attraction to Joe Dispenza's teachings. There are a lot of really powerful truths in that, but there are also a lot of biased ideas that are detrimental to our self-concept. It's my intention to share a little bit of that experience and help you understand that your only way to fully transform and to experience what is it that you like to manifest, whether it's more love, whether it's more money, better career situation, job situation, whether it's traveling around the world, it all starts with your self-concept. And this is the thing you can focus on. But your self-concept is actually made out of all of your beliefs, all of your behaviors, all of your habits, and all of your feelings and emotions. You have a responsibility here. You're responsible for all that is included in your self-concept. And if you don't accept your limiting beliefs as partners in crime, as friends, you will only repress them, try to escape them, and you'll be running around in circles trying to escape what you have not accepted about yourself. This is why I mean that it's detrimental. And it's okay. It is okay that maybe you have done that mistake. I've done that mistake many times. I can admit it courageously, because this is simply how we have been conditioned through this community, and it's not the end of the world. Because if we understand that our limiting beliefs are partners in crime, then we can see that they provide value for us. The value that your beliefs provide is that they always try to keep you safe from what doesn't feel comfortable and what feels unfamiliar. And your nervous system, the way it has been conditioned through your childhood upbringing, has decided to prefer some feelings over other feelings. And a lot of times, your limiting beliefs, for example, the belief that I'm not good enough, nothing good ever happens to me, this belief has the value, has the benefit to help you escape the feelings of failure, the feelings of disappointment, the feeling of being ridiculed. Because if you don't have to face challenging situations, personal challenges in your own personal life, and you can simply rely on the belief, I'm not good enough, nothing good ever happens to me, then you wouldn't have to face those feelings, which a lot of times feels uncomfortable. So this is how your limiting beliefs keep you safe from challenging feelings and dangerous situations. And unless you have the courage to look into that, investigate it for yourself, they'll perpetuate. They'll just repeat. And this is why I have a challenge for you, which I'll get into in a moment when I get to the six-step process that I'm also going through in my life currently, actually. Another way that your limiting beliefs provide value, which you can consider, comes from childhood upbringing, is that they keep you a part of the community you belong to. Think about it in this way. If you were born in a family that is poor, and this has been my experience, my parents fought a lot about money when I was just a child. They had the biggest scandals and conflicts. They screamed to one another. There was a lot of verbal abuse, and at times there was some physical abuse. And so anytime I was bringing that topic about money inside my family, and about when I got into entrepreneurship, which I'm into from the last couple of years also, this was always a conflicting topic for them. And so my limiting beliefs about money, which I'm transforming little by little, they kept me safe, they kept me relatable and part of that community in my family. And when I was breaking through some of the limiting beliefs about money, for example, money is bad, money is the root of all evil, you shouldn't be making money out of other people's backs, even though you provide value, because this is manipulative, and so on and so forth. I had really bad conflicts, really dangerous conflicts, conflicting situations with my father. And so this is part of the examples I'm giving from myself to show you how a lot of times our limiting beliefs, they keep us safe, not being isolated from the community we grew up in, because we don't want to be banished. So this is another way they provide value to us. And you can understand that more deeply the more you look within yourself. And by this time in the video, you're probably thinking, how is that possible? How I can look into myself and see what is the value that my limiting beliefs and behaviors provide to me? I'll get into that in a moment, but before that, I want to give you a couple of more examples. The belief I'm not good enough, the belief it's too much, these are basically the same beliefs, and I am really familiar with them. Anytime when I'm facing really overwhelming circumstance or a job situation, right now, actually, in this moment in my life journey, this idea pops into my mind. It's too much. You wouldn't be able to handle all that work. There is a lot of things that you have to do. What if you are not good enough to do all of it? And then I start feeling stressed, a lot of stress. I start feeling anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of overwhelm. And all of these stories are in a way helping me escape the possible disappointment I could feel if I fail. So this is how these beliefs serve me. They provide value to my life. They keep me safe from having to face that disappointment dead in the eye. Even though I faced it many times, they are still coming up at times to help me, to protect me from that feeling, because it's not comfortable. It's a dangerous situation to my nervous system. This is what happens a lot of times. And this is where procrastination sometimes kicks in as the behavior that supports those belief systems that keeps me safe from having to experience disappointment and failure. And anytime I feel overwhelmed, the first thought popping in my mind, it's too much. It is too much. And then there is some form of escape that I go towards, like scrolling on my phone, so on and so forth. Procrastination, simply. It's another example of my journey, which is, what's the point? Nothing ever matters. Life is pointless. And this belief, this story in my mind, it keeps me safe from apathy, from grief, from shame, from boredom, from all these emotional states. Whenever I feel really overwhelmed, I go into, what's the point? It's meaningless, nothing ever matters. And then the behavior that supports that belief is masturbation. And just yesterday, I was looking to this other creator, researching about videos I want to produce in my channel, which I'll put her in the description. Please watch this video. I don't know what her name is right now, but please watch her, because her video inspired me to make this video, this other's creator, and it helped me let go of a lot of shame at that moment. It's a really powerful video. Please check it out. But I was able to realize that whenever I was being attached to this habit of masturbation, it was because nobody was there for me at that time. Nobody ever understood me. And masturbation literally helped me escape the shame I was feeling from being different to others. And this is the value it provided. And I was able to see that clearly and forgive myself for it. Even though that's a challenge I'm facing and overcoming from years so far. I don't judge myself or condemn myself about it anymore, but I'm able to see the value it gives me and love myself whether I do it or whether I don't, which is basically what transforming yourself concept looks like. So these are the examples I wanted to give. And yes, after this video, check out this other creator's video. It's basically on the same topic, but she explains it really profoundly. It's amazing, amazingly powerful. Now, what are these steps for transforming your self-concept? It's simply this approach to identity shifting, understanding that we are not one person. I have different identities that I can embody of myself. In any given moment, I can be a different version of myself. And my old self is not wrong compared to the one that I want to become. They're both valid. And through the presence of my awareness at this moment in time, I have the choice which version of myself I want to embody. And to make this process easier, it's not about one instant shift that happens and that's it. It's about an instant, consistent shift. And you can pass through that shift again and again through following these steps. Firstly, you want to see that you cannot really change your self-concept unless you're coming from this state, this presence of unconditional love, unless you connect to that presence of unconditional love first. It's not possible to fully change if you're judgmental, critical, self-loathing, self-condemnating, literally rejecting the part of you that you don't like. It will follow you everywhere. You won't be able to escape it. Yet if you come from that state of presence of unconditional love, it's okay. I love myself for the bad parts of me, the shameful parts of me, the parts of me that I feel guilty about. I love myself for them because I understand that they provide value. They're my partners in crime. Then this gives you the ability, the potential to see that you can reparent yourself. Exactly the same way that you grew up in your childhood upbringing, whenever somebody was taking care of you, and they, in a way, programmed you unconsciously without your conscious intent for that to happen. You didn't know it back at that time, but it happened. And now, since you have that unconditionally loving presence for your own self, your unconditionally loving attitude to yourself, you see the potential to reparent yourself, which is Beautiful. It's so beautiful. Think if you could relate to your own self, the bad and negative aspects of your own self, through the attitude of the unconditionally loving mother and through the attitude of the unconditionally loving father, which always gives a direction. That's possible. In fact, back, I think it was a year ago or something, I made a video about this too. The archetypes of the mother and the father and the qualities they possess. You can check it out. I'll put it in the description and I'll put it right here, right now, on a card. It's a really insightful video. Going forward, once you see that potential that you can reparent yourself, you don't have to judge, condemn, you don't have to force yourself through change. You can simply listen. This is the third step. Listen, acknowledge, and hold space for that part of you that still feels familiar, that the limiting beliefs, the negative behavior that it embodies, that it expresses, still feels familiar to it. You can listen to it. You can acknowledge it. Yes, I see you. Yes, I know you're there. Yeah, yes, I know you're wasting your time. And yes, I know sometimes I'm being judgmental. And I'm sorry for that. But I want to get to know you better. I know that this behavior, whatever it is, it gives you something. It's valuable to you. And I'll hold that space for you. And I'll listen. I'll just take a moment to listen. The more time I take to listen, the more you open to me. This attitude of being patient enough with yourself in the more negative experiences you have of yourself will allow you to see how that part of you is being your partner in crime, how it's your friend actually. It's not an enemy, it's your friend. Which doesn't mean that you should linger in that state. It simply means that you listen, acknowledge it, hold space for it, and you don't invalidate. You don't force nor reject. You simply listen and validate. This will give you the permission to connect with that, I would say, this part of you that feels weak. Don't judge it for being weak. Don't invalidate it. Simply validate why that part of you feels like that. It has a reason, and that reason is valid. And by simply listening, by simply taking that space, going within your body, within your feelings, taking the time to just ask questions, converse with yourself, have a conversation, which may take some time, but it's always worth it. I've done that hundreds of times, more like thousands of times already, and it's always worth it. You can always learn something new about yourself, about that part of you. Through that process of validating why that part of you feels negative, feels triggered, feels overwhelmed, feels stressed out, feels grief, feels sad, feels guilty, feels shameful. Simply through holding space, listening, and validating, you can start accepting it for what it is. You can have loving attitude for that part of you, and this is what it means to transform your self-concept. If you have loving attitude for yourself at certain moments in time, and then you are unloving and critical of yourself at other moments in life, in your journey, life journey, then is your self-concept transformed? Is it unconditionally loving, or is it conditional? It's a curious question now, isn't it? So through that process of validating the why, whatever negative behavior that part of you does, stay there, listen, hold space, validate the why. Don't linger in that state, but lovingly listen to it, accept it fully, unconditionally, with love, presence, and care. And then you're able to become the authoritative parent, the, the father. Then you're able to provide direction, clarity, and movement forward. Through inner conversations, again, talking to that part of you that just opened. And a lot of times this includes letting go, maybe crying, maybe like feeling more warmth in your body. Maybe you need to move a little bit. But there is a process of that part of you opening up, the inner child opening up, and then the authoritative parent steps in and provides direction, clarity, and movement forward. Why is that possible? Because you simply know, you simply understand where the challenging emotions come from. You already know that they are here to keep you safe from challenging feelings. The limiting beliefs are here to keep you safe from challenging feelings. You know that these emotions have created the not so preferable life situation that you currently face. And since you have that understanding and you feel compassion for yourself, then the authoritative parent, the father figure, can step in and provide direction, clarity, and movement forward. And it's something in the lines of, I know this feels challenging. I know that you don't want to face that. I know you don't want to experience that ever again, but I know how you've created that for yourself. And I love you for that. I love you for having the patience and the strength to stay in that experience. And I know that it is what you need to become strong enough to fulfill your potential. I know it's part of the journey. If you have the strength to go through that challenging experience, which I know you've created for yourself, then I'm fucking confident in what you can achieve, what you can accomplish. This is what I mean by this authoritative attitude, providing direction, clarity, and movement forward. And if you are able to hold that space for yourself, to give yourself that clarity, direction, and movement forward, show yourself how this is part of the big picture journey, then you're literally holding yourself by the hand whenever you feel down, whenever you feel stressed out, disappointed, depressed, whatever it is. And then you're able, in the last step, to bridge the gap between your current belief system with your preferred self-concept, which happens through non-judgment and through providing this safe environment, safe container for the inner child, that part of you that feels stressed out, that feels anxious, however it feels. You provide that safe container for it to feel through it, and then you give it the direction of where it's going. And then it starts trusting you. Little by little, it starts trusting you. And the more that part of you trusts you, the more you'll be able to use all these other powerful tools like scripting, visualization, affirmations, so on and so forth, to give that part of you an idea of what you want the future to look like, so that it can accept it right here in the now. And it's amazingly beautiful, this process. It's so beautiful. If you can support yourself through feeling low, through giving the sufficient space needed to process those feelings, and then position yourself in a neutral state of being, and from that neutral state, give yourself direction into where you're going so that you feel excited again, you've done the job, man. This is how you have transformed your self-concept. And by doing that again and again and again, you're literally loving yourself into who you are becoming. Simple as that. This is how you transform your self-concept through identity shifting. And it's instant, because in any moment it's required, the shift is instant once you follow that process. I know it's a challenge, but it's worth it. And again, I want to encourage you to watch this video from the other creator, which inspired me to make this video myself. So check it out. It's really powerful and beautiful. And this was everything I wanted to share. So I'm really grateful and I appreciate you staying with me until the end. Please like the video if you found some value, if you got some value out of it. Share it with some friends if you feel like it can help them and support them. And this will support me on my journey as well. Comment down below. Let me know what's your experience in transforming your self-concept. If you have any questions, doubts, or anything like that, this will inspire me to make more videos. So I would really appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel if you're new to it, because with every video I make, I'm here to help you expand your awareness, step into higher consciousness, and fulfill your inner potential. Thank you so much for staying with me. See you in the next video, my friend. Bye-bye for now. Enjoy your day.